Good day everyone! I am Mayan Gamora Ragudo, a pre-service teacher from BSED Math 3 North Shotton Campus. Today, I will continue discussing about the key elements of school as a social system. Actually, there are 8 key elements, but the first 4 elements had been already discussed by Ms. Ginol. So I will just continue the discussion about the key elements of school as a social system. I will read to you the objectives of my presentation. At the end of the lesson, the students should be able to identify the technical core, environment, outcomes, and feedback loops under the key elements of school as a social system. Explain the significance of the key elements of school as a social system through a debate and reflect on the importance of determining the different key elements of school as a social system. But before we will proceed to the main focus of today's discussion, let us first define these following terms, which are school, social system, what does social system refers to, and school as a social system. The school. The school is a system of social interaction. It is an organized whole comprising interacting personalities bound together in an organic relationship. That's according to Weyler 1932. As a social system, it is characterized by an interdependence of parts, a clearly defined population, differentiation from its environment, a complex network of social relationships, and its culture. We all have our own unique experiences of what school means, but in essence, it's a structured environment designed to facilitate learning where individuals come together to acquire knowledge, develop skills, and prepare for the future. What is social system? Social system is a social organization, and according to Longress 2000, it is a group of elements and activities that interact and constitute a single social entity. It is a model or organization that processes creativity beyond its component parts. It is distinguished from its environment by a clearly defined boundary. It is composed of subunits, elements, and subsystems that are interrelated with relatively patterns of social order. That's according to Olsen 1970. What does social system refers to? Social system refers to activities and interaction of groups consisting of members brought together for a common purpose. Classroom is a good example of social system. Why? Because it comprises of ethos or ethics, norms, values, psychological aspects. What is school as a social system? According to Hanson 1996, school as a social system is a set of interrelated elements functioning as a unit to achieve a specific purpose. There is an interaction between the elements and the forces in the internal and external environment of the system. A school is thought of a social system with its characteristic institutional functions, roles, and expectations. As an institution, it has the function of socialization. At this point of time, let us discuss the last 4 key elements of school as a social system. First is the technical core, teaching and learning. The teaching and learning is the technical core of schools. In the context of school as a social system, the technical core refers to the physical and technological resources available to support learning. So it encompasses the tools and materials that students, teachers, and administrators utilize to facilitate the educational process. So all other activities are just secondary to the basic mission of teaching and learning, which shapes the administrative decisions in schools. And we could say that learning occurs when there is a stable change in an individual's knowledge and behavior. For example, in a mathematics classroom, the teacher must employ various instructional strategies such as lectures, demonstrations, and group activities to teach mathematical concepts. And students must also actively engage in mathematical tasks, solve problems, and collaborate with peers to deepen their understanding. And most importantly, students must apply mathematical concepts to real-world scenarios in order for them to enhance their critical thinking skills and problem-solving skills. Next is environment. So when we say environment, it is very important to the organizational functioning of schools. It is the system's source of energy. So I want you to think about a time when a physical environment of your school, for example, classroom, library, or etc., positively or negatively impacted your learning experiences. How did it affect your focus, motivation, or participation? So we could really say that the environment has a big impact on how we learn in school. So far, we've discussed about the technical core and the environment of the school system. Now, let's explore the third key element, which is the outcomes. I want you to think back to our earlier discussions. We talked about how the technical core provide tools and resources, and the environment shapes the learning experience. But ultimately, what do we aim to achieve through all these interactions and within the system? That's where outcomes comes in. Last key element is the feedback loop, both internal and external. These are essential elements of a school as a social system because it facilitates communication, adaptation, and improvement within and beyond the school community. From the word internal feedback loops involve communication and exchange of information within the school. On the other hand, external feedback loops involve communication outside the school or external stakeholders. So to summarize, today we explored the key elements of the school as a social system, which are the technical core, environment, outcomes, and feedback loops. We saw how these elements are interconnected and contribute to creating a supportive and effective learning environment. Remember, this understanding can help us all play a more active role in fostering a positive learning experience for ourselves and others. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope that you learned something from our discussion today.